Thanks for joining us. I'm Michael Miller. This is Live with Miami's Community News. And our guest today is my favorite recycling manager in Miami-Dade County Solid Waste Department.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
And hi, nice to see you again.
Thank
All
you.
right?
Thanks for having me.
And we have our glass back again, but soon enough, we're going to be able to take it down.
That'll be great.
Yes.
Can't wait.
And I still have the mask here.
Got
All
one
right?
in my pocket.
Yes. I see that you have all this stuff. I won't describe it too much, but all this stuff on the table here.
Yep.
So tell us about how we're supposed to recycle this.
Okay. Well, we've been talking a few times, so it can't hurt to say one more time the things that we can recycle right. Okay. So really easy. We went over them before. We call it the simple 5. I even gave you the cheat sheet. Right. Exactly.
By the way, this gets mailed to people?
Yes, we have mailed it to people. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So first thing, which you're going to love on the list of things that are great to recycle are newspapers.
All newspapers.
Yes, newspapers are excellent for recycling. And it's not just newspapers. It's lots and lots of, paper. You got magazines. You got, office
and
paper.
with holidays coming up, all that stuff that gets mailed to you, right, that you're going to throw and think, just put it in a different.
It's the stuff that comes in the mail, great for recycling. Great. And then what people sometimes don't even realize, as I'm trying not to make a huge mess, cereal boxes. Cereal boxes are paperboard. So this stuff is great for recycling. You can put it right in your cart. Not the plastic liner, not the cereal itself, but the boxes are good. Good.
So we've discussed this many times, and we've been fortunate to have some folks from the other divisions from the county. Mm-hmm. I've become acutely aware of this bigger picture for each of us to be able to do our own part. Right. And this is certainly doing that, separating that stuff and providing the opportunity for the stuff to be recycled and teaching our other family members and our children, this is the right way to do this.
Right. I mean, the kids are going to be teaching everybody soon, but yes, for sure. And it's so important. And like I was saying, so we have the paper cans, aluminum cans, great for recycling. Steel cans, great for recycling. Just empty them, put them in the cart. That's really wonderful. Cartons. These are what we call cartons. These are great. These are actually made of like high grade paper, and they have a little plastic liner on them. So paper is recycled by hydropulping it, which is like putting it in a great big blender. And as it kind of goes around, the outside comes off.
Okay. So what about a lot of bookshelves are made out of, I don't want to say wood, but it looks like this bushy, heavy duty cardboard. It has this little plastic cover on it to sort of like keep it together.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff in some of the big box stores are made out of that.
Okay.
Stuff.
Yes.
What do people do with this old furniture that we know was put together with screwdrivers? All right.
Yeah.
And that if you spray it down with water, it's going to disintegrate.
Right.
What should somebody do with that? Not that I have any personal experience with that.
Certainly not, because the way you were describing it, obviously you just read about it somewhere. Yeah. Throw it away. It is not part of the recycling program. For cardboard, we want clean cardboard boxes. Flatten them right here.
Okay, so let's. Everybody gets boxes now.
Right. Do they ever?
We have a little contest up front. Who can get the most boxes brought in during a week?
Right.
Last week I was the one.
Oh, did you win? Oh,
I
that's
did.
Great.
Yes.
Okay.
We sort of like say, gee, it's almost Christmas time.
Can you imagine when it is going to be almost Christmas time? Yeah. So what we want you to do, because that's good. I mean, this is great cardboard. It's cardboard really has the 2 layers and has the little stuff in between. That's real cardboard. You got to flatten it and put it in your recycling cart. Don't take a box and like cram it down in your cart, because when they go to empty the cart, it isn't going to slide out. So if you have big boxes, tear them apart, do something, but don't just stick big boxes in your cart, around your cart, on top of your cart. Got to be in the cart.
So what I've learned with those, you rip off the wings, if you will.
Okay,
first,
yeah.
And it gets a little bit easier to do
that's smart. Great. God, the tips we learned here, aren't they great?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at we still have a lot of food that we go out and eat. I mean, that we bring to the house, right? Whether it's delivered or we go get it. I see you have some of those containers.
Oh, I do. but this stuff is not recyclable, not acceptable in our program. Has to be a bottle. And people go, oh, but there are a number. I don't even look at the numbers. I don't care what the numbers are. The only kind of plastic that's acceptable in our program are bottles. It's got to be a bottle.
So people get a little confused, they put that stuff in the recycling container. What happens to you have the stuff that's good, the stuff that's right, and the stuff that we don't want that. How's that process work?
Everything ends up on a conveyor belt. And there's people that have to pull that stuff out. And the more stuff they have to pull out, the worse it is. So there's no markets. And people talk to me, you know what? Get rid of whoever's doing your recycling and get someone who will take that stuff. That's not how it works. You have to have a company who wants to buy this and make something new out of it. And this kind of plastic, everybody wants to buy and make something new out of it. This stuff over here, I have my little container with nothing here is acceptable for recycling. I'm really sorry. These kind of little tubs, not good for recycling. I'm really sorry.
And folks, they're all clean.
It doesn't even matter. These are really clean because I carry them with me all the time. No markets, not acceptable in our program. Really, I know it pains you to throw this in the garbage. But, I think we talked about this before. Miami-Dade County has a waste to energy facility where our garbage actually goes and is burned to produce steam, which generates electricity. Oh my goodness, it's made out of petroleum. Put it in the garbage. Let us use it to make electricity.
So, excuse me. So I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I know. No worries.
So you just keep talking.
Okay. Well, and you know what? While I'm sitting here talking, one of the things that also is definitely not recyclable are the little microwave trays. And it's really funny because one of the reasons this is made out of what it's made out of and the way it's made is so that it will not melt when it goes in your microwave. And how do you think this bottle is made into a new bottle? It's melted. So the whole idea is no good. Put it in the garbage. It will eventually melt at our waste energy plant. And apparently it'll also melt in your microwave at some point too. But not recyclable, not acceptable for material for us.
When did the manufacturers start making thinner single bottle?
Yeah.
When was that, more or less?
Like the last few years. And you know what? It shows in our tonnages because needless to say, you have to weigh everything. And as soon as I was able to take a bottle like this and squish it in one hand, they started using a lot less plastic in it. And I guess there's a way to make it more durable, but it's thinner, weighs less.
As a person that cares about recycling puts up the nonsense of the bottle not being very balanced, but we've just got used to it.
Right.
Say that's the trade-off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But this is fine for recycling. And you can put the cap back on. We tell people, empty it out, give it a little squish, put the cap back on, and put in your cart. And don't make a hockey puck out of it. I mean, there are people very strong, squish, make it a little. Actually, it's harder for the optical sorters to pick it out at the plant. So no. Just this is fine.
You have sorters that is standing by the conveyor belt. Do they physically go in and remove stuff?
Yes, but there are also optical sorters. So it's a blend of mechanics and machines and people.
The eye-hand coordination of these folks must be extraordinary.
Really,
they're eyeing it. They're going, okay.
Yeah,
get it.
You see it coming down the line, and there are containers behind them, and literally you can just go right like this and get it into the right containers because
that has to keep the brain going too.
Yeah. Because like this, great, good for recycling, easy to grab off the conveyor and put it right in the cart, right in the.
Now you have my favorite box over there.
I do, don't I?
That one's about 2 inches high. All right. Yes. Yeah. Let's talk about that one.
Okay. This is a pizza box. This is an unused, pristine pizza box because I carry it with me wherever I go. So this is not acceptable for recycling because although this is beautiful and has not a speck of grease on it, pizzas are greasy. And if you tell me, oh, no, my pizzas aren't greasy, well, you got gypped, because who wants to eat a pizza that's not greasy? So just put this in the garbage, and don't even bother to put it in your cart.
Unfortunately, I have a lot of shirts that can testify to that.
Yeah, sure, of course. But those are good pizzas.
Yeah, so pizza boxes are just put them in the garbage.
Put them right in the garbage.
That's the green carts.
The green garbage cart. Yes, right. Exactly.
And then we have the blue cart,
which is the blue recycling cart,
which seemed to last longer. I realized why, because we don't put it out twice a week out front.
Right. It's every other week. So that's like 3 less times it gets banged.
For a while, some of the cities and maybe the county would have a cart, a container, open top with handles on the side. Is that still, are those still around?
Not for our program. No, everybody who's on our program has a wheeled cart, and it's hard to carry those carts out.
I do want to do a shout out for the former mayor of South Miami. At one time referred to those handheld carts as used them as flower pots.
How nice. There you go. Great.
Yeah, so that was 15 years ago. I'm still chuckling, and whenever I see him, I remind them.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's talk about on cans. Cans are used to transport food and for food to be in there for decades.
Right.
All right. And so you open the can. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or if you have electric one.
Right.
And then you empty it out. Right. And you put it in it. And what should they do with the can?
Okay. First of all, the little top, they put that in the garbage, because it's sharp. And, some of the conveyors are actually rubber conveyors. So just get rid of it. Put it in the garbage. Don't want yourself to be injured or anybody else. And then we want you to make sure it's empty. And I don't want you to waste water. If you put a little swish of water in it, swish it around, don't waste water. But just make sure the beans are not in the can any longer when you put it in your cart. And don't forget, it might be in your cart like for almost 2 weeks, because if today is the evening of your recycling day and your cart was emptied, it's not going to be emptied for 2 more weeks. So you don't want this smelly thing in your.
We have cats that tell us whether there's anything in the cans.
It's very good. How nice.
Yes. So on one hand, we have these type of cans that are really strong. On the other hand, the soda cans are a lot thinner.
Right. You know what? I don't know of any soda cans that are made out of steel, though. This is steel. So the other one is aluminum. These are aluminum cans. So yeah. So that's why these are much thinner. Right.
All right. So I frequently go into stores and buy stuff.
Oh, good.
And then and then they offer me the plastic bag. I was so happy the other day. Somebody said, "Did you want a bag?" And I said, "No."
It's okay.
And it was like, wow. Sometimes I wait. Because we're so used to, they put it in the bag and say, "Here, I don't want the bag," because I realize they're going to give it to me. I'm going to go in the car. I'm going to take the stuff out. I'm going to wind up doing something. It's going to be floating around for a week or 2 months or 6 months.
In your car?
Right. And so I said, no. So that's at the drugstores all the time. I do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
In the local grocery store,
mm-hmm.
I bought some magazines and some stuff. And they asked, and I'm so happy they did, because it really says that people were telling them that. And they also, I guess they get to save a little bit. I don't know how much this costs, but big picture stuff, which is why take that and put it out.
Right.
But people sometimes put those plastic bags in the wrong places. So what are some of the wrong places?
Oh my gosh. Any place that isn't a garbage can. Oh my goodness. I tell people, unless what you're holding in your hand is on fire, do not drop it on the ground. If you're carrying this and you have things in it, bring it home. If you can reuse it. I have kitty cats. I might have mentioned the last 8 times I saw you. I use this for kitty litter. Not this one. This one's clean, but I use it for kitty litter. Clean the little boxes, put it in the garbage. Great for this. But these can be recycled, though, if they don't have kitty litter in them. You just have to bring them back to place. Not in our blue cart. Let me just make sure. Not in the blue cart. But all the grocery stores have the containers for the plastic bags, and they do get recycled. I know of companies that make plastic lumber, and one of the items they use in order to make that are the low density polyethylene, which is a plastic bag. So it is recyclable, but not in the blue cart.
So maybe 20 years ago, people started bringing their own it was the paper bags. Then she went to plastic, or maybe it was the other way around. Then they started bringing their own bags, right, into the store, which is now commonplace.
Right.
And that is wonderful to be able to do that. It really is sending a message to everybody. I care enough. I don't need the bag. I got my own.
Right. It's good. And in fact, I think there's even a sign on a lot of the grocery stores. Don't forget your bags. So, because when you go in, you do all your shopping, it's like the bag's in the car. So.
And that took a real cultural shift for people to be able to do it. And because when I was a lot younger, when I started seeing that, I go, who does that?
Right. Oh,
so now it's sort of like, well, everybody does. Are you going to start doing it?
Yeah.
And some of the bags, we have that in the house. We have the bags, and in the cars we have the bags. So we don't ever have to worry.
Right.
And my wife was the one that sort of brought that to my attention, which is this is the way to do that.
Yeah, just bring it with you right into the grocery store and use them. That's great. That is really great.
And, we have this cabinet where we put all these extra other bags that sit there for months and months and months.
Okay, because you don't have kitty cats. That's why.
See.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right. So folks can find out more about recycling by going to where?
Oh, yeah. I have it right here because I don't want to say it wrong. They go to miamidade.gov/recycling. And you can look up, it says our simple 5, but you can also look, we have a list. I mean, we tried to think of every single thing someone might ask about, and you can look down the list to find out.
Jeanmarie, they can see videos of your plants.
Oh,
right?
Yes.
They're really neat. We saw one here a couple of weeks ago.
I know. Wasn't that fun?
It was like I was like, wow, big boy toys. Look at this stuff.
Everything except the smell. It was excellent. Yeah.
By the way, I was fortunate to have had a bulk waste pickup at my house.
Oh, you did?
I went accordingly, and I was fortunate enough to take photographs of the pile.
Oh.
Because people started adding on to it.
Yes, you have to call. If that happens, you call right away. Yes.
And the reason you call is so they're going to send somebody out.
Right.
So they're going to say, hey, listen, this is your pile here.
Right.
And it was a bunch of other stuff. And every day, right, it would grow.
It's amazing. It's like a magnet. But our enforcement division is the group of people who go out to check on that. And let me tell you, it is pretty easy to find out sometimes who has been doing that. People are kind of nutty about what they put on the pile, like with their name, address, and phone number on it.
And just for clarity, I remember one time we paid somebody to do some work for us. He took the stuff and he dumped it in. So a friend of mine was working for the county. He says, I found your trash over there. What?
I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So my suggestion, if you're paying somebody to haul away your stuff, get a receipt.
Yes.
And say, here, all right, because that stuff is going to go right back to you, and then you're going to have to defend your position.
Right.
And correct me if I didn't have the story right. There was some trash that was found on the road. The cops went over. They went through the trash. They found a receipt to a restaurant. They go to the restaurant. They go to the timestamp. They see these houses. They go to the house. Sure enough.
Yeah. Amazing. Right.
Yep.
I know. It's like, I don't want to give it away, but it's pretty funny when people leave in the trash to find that it makes you find them. I wanted to tell you a couple of other things that you should never put in your recycling because, we get really weird, crazy stuff. And it goes from, I'm mildly confused. I'm not sure about the yogurt cup. Okay. To insane. I mean, crazy stuff. So what I brought with me was a little bit of my crazy stuff. We get, now this is a Christmas tree, but what this represents is all kinds of vegetation. People they mow their lawn, they cut their trees, and they put it all in the blue cart. No, that is not acceptable at all. The other thing is what we call wish cycle. So here, I brought this. So here we see, a nice towel, maybe a hat that they don't want it, so they put it in the recycling cart. Someone can use this. No, not after it's in the recycling cart. They can't use it. It mixes with the person that didn't empty all the beans out of their can and all the other stuff. And
Jeanmarie is on today, folks.
This makes me insane. Almost as bad as dropping stuff on the ground. But it absorbs. This nice hat absorbs all that icky stuff and comes out a disgusting mess. And so it doesn't get recycled.
So they have this stuff and they go, oh, I don't think this is recyclable. What should they do with it?
Well, okay, you can look it up. You go to miamidade.gov/recycling and look it up. But you could donate. Something like that can be donated to churches, organizations. There's lots and lots of places that can use nice, clean towels and clothes and so forth. But don't put them in the recycling cart, because that is never going to work.
One of the things that we do, we live in horse country. If I've got something that I don't want to like take to the dump, I put it on the side of the street, free. And inevitably, it is within a couple hours, it's gone.
Especially if it's something someone can use. Absolutely. That is great.
My wife's going to put me out there one day.
Oh, I hope not. I'll be thinking good thoughts for you, but I know that you would be snapped up in a moment.
Oh my goodness, Tommy. We're in like Flint.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. What else did I bring? Oh, okay. So now we talked a little bit about plastic bags. Plastic bags are, number one, the worst thing you can put in your recycling cart. Never put a plastic bag in your recycling cart. And don't put stuff in the plastic bag either, because even if you have really good stuff, it won't get recycled. It
gets jammed up in machines.
Because you know what? I think we showed you when we looked at the video. So not all of the conveyors are nice flat conveyors. Most of them are what they call star screens. So instead of a nice flat surface, it's something that looks like a star. And the material kind of bumps across it. And that's how the caps fall through and the little pieces fall through. Well, the bag wraps around the stars, and they have to shut down the plant every 2 hours and dig the bags out. It's ridiculous. It's I was thinking this while I was on my way. It's like, you know, when you yell, stop the presses, and you stop to do something. Well, this is stop the conveyors.
It's very costly.
Oh, you got it.
From a production point, it's like, all right, an hour or two that's down. Right, you have all those people that are standing around,
right?
You know, trying to fix the problem,
right?
And that sort of backs it up.
It does. So you lose all that productivity. Exactly. So never. Plastic bags have a place, not in the blue cart.
I did buy a small tree grinder many years ago.
Oh, really?
I didn't know we weren't supposed to put areca palms in there.
Oh.
Areca palms are very watery.
Oh.
And so you know what it did? It makes string.
Oh. I bet that wrapped around a few things too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, wrong thing. It was for hardwood.
Oh.
It wasn't for this very wet stringy stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's interesting and a very applicable story.
Yes.
Excellent. What else did I want to tell you? We did the plastic bags are like so important. Let's see. And I was thinking, you know, like I said, we go in phases on what goes in the carts. Really, around Christmas time, we do get Christmas trees. Don't do that. Don't put any Christmas trees in. But the worst is the plastic bags. We get a lot of vegetation, I mentioned, and then weird things like toys, big toys, like the Barbie princess.
Let's talk about Christmas trees. I don't know what percent of Dade County's got Christmas trees, but my guess is, I don't know, 50%, 60%.
Probably.
Right? What should people do with their old Christmas trees?
Okay. You can, if you're in our customer service base, you know, if we pick up your garbage.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, that was a question, right? If we pick up your garbage, you can bring your Christmas trees to our neighborhood trash centers. And you know what we do? We actually shred them at some point and make mulch out of them. And that Christmas tree mulch is really good. You can
What a wonderful thing to be able to do that.
I know.
Hey, family, let's go over. They're going to make some mulch. We may wind up at some store buying it one day.
Yeah. Well, if you're in the service area, you go back there. When it's ready, we let you know when it's ready, and you can just put it in bags to take home.
Another amazing Christmas gift.
Yes, exactly.
So I think we're going to wrap it up in a minute.
Really? Okay, well then let me tell you real quick. Never put paint in your recycling cart. Never put paint in your garbage cart. Never, not even sometimes. That doesn't go there. And things like lithium batteries. No batteries in the recycling cart. No kind of battery at all. The ion lithium batteries actually can catch fire. And every single material recovery facility has had a fire because of that. So that doesn't go there. Take it to home chemical.
So with chemicals, people can sometimes put it in there when they go to lift it up, it can spill out.
Right.
All right. It gets in the truck, it gets on the ground,
Right.
gets on the tires and goes to you and the neighbors.
Down the block.
Yes.
Yes, the gift that keeps on giving. That happens with paint too. That's why no paint ever.
And there are plants, there are locations throughout the county, two of them, one north, one south,
right,
where you can take your
home chemicals. Yes.
paint, old paint, new paint, old gasoline, oil,
yes,
right, grease, kerosene,
right. Open to every resident in Miami-Dade County, regardless of, as long as you live in the county, doesn't matter where. Doesn't matter if we pick up your garbage or anybody else does.
And they can go online again at miamidade.gov/recycling and look around. Where can I take my old paint?
Yes, exactly.
And
we have again.
And then they have paint that you can get back.
Right. So you go in and you drop off the paint that was no good. This doesn't work for me. I'm not using it. And you spot this paint that is the accent color that you need. You can exchange. You can leave yours and take that. Isn't that cool?
The 1 gallon that you have that's it. There'll never be another one exactly like that.
Right.
I want to thank you for what you do for all of us and the teachings that you do for people and sharing that.
Thank you.
Our guest today is Jeanmarie. Great job. All right, as a recycling manager for Miami-Dade County Solid Waste Department. Thank you for your time. And Tommy, thank you for what you do. Folks, have a good day. See you.
Thanks.